Hey there, this is Amelia here. Welcome to Amelia's crossdressing story. Today we are going to share a story called Becoming the Daughter Part 1 by Crow. For more interesting and exclusive stories, please subscribe to my channel and support me at Patreon. The Belmont Mansion, a beacon of opulence amidst the city's grandeur, was alive with an unusual tension tonight. The vast ballroom, with its intricate chandeliers and gilded mirrors, captured the soft glow of candles, casting a warm, golden illumination. Here, the city's crème de la crème often gathered, whispering secrets and forging alliances. But this evening's assembly was unlike any other. Gathered around a lavish mahogany table were members of the Harringtons and the Belmonts, two pillars of high society. Their meeting, shrouded in discretion, held the promise of discussions that could shape the very fabric of the city's elite. Lady Harrington, draped elegantly in her deep blue gown, surveyed the room before speaking. "Our families have long been stewards of the city's legacy," she began, her voice a soft yet commanding lilt. "A union between the Harringtons and Belmonts would not only strengthen our individual legacies but also solidify our influence in society." Eyes darted and whispers began, as those present tried to decipher the implications of her words. Victor Belmont, with his chiseled features and thoughtful demeanor, had always been the subject of much speculation among the city's elite. Despite being of marriageable age and possessing all the qualities sought after in a suitor, Victor had remained curiously unattached. Whispers and rumors swirled around ballrooms and salons as society tried to ascertain the reason behind his prolonged bachelorhood. Some speculated it was due to his discerning nature, his unwillingness to settle for anything less than a perfect match. Others whispered that perhaps his heart already belonged to someone, a secret love kept hidden from the prying eyes of the world. And yet, a few believed it was his deep sense of responsibility towards the Belmont legacy, a weight that pressed upon his shoulders, making him prioritize the family's interests over personal desires. The truth, known only to a select few, was more intricate. The Belmonts, while influential, were facing subtle pressures from rival families seeking to diminish their foothold in high society. Victor's marriage wasn't just a personal decision, it was a strategic move, a way to fortify their position and ensure the family's continued dominance. Lady Harrington, ever the astute observer, understood this delicate balance, and her proposal was not merely a suggestion, but a well-calculated move in the intricate game of societal chess. Lady Harrington paused, allowing her words to take root in the minds of those present. She delicately sipped from her crystal goblet, her gaze unwavering, locking onto Victor's. "In these challenging times," she continued, her voice still steady and authoritative, "it is imperative that we choose alliances wisely. Someone who can navigate the complexities of our world, someone resilient and adaptable." She then turned her gaze to Alex, who had been silently observing the proceedings, a hint of uncertainty in his eyes. "My son, Alex," Lady Harrington pronounced, "possesses qualities that are rare to find. He's intelligent, compassionate, and has always had an innate ability to understand the intricacies of our societal norms. I believe," she added, her voice now softening just a touch, "he would make a perfect bride, a partner who would stand by Victor's side not just as a wife, but as an equal, a confidant." The room was thick with anticipation, all eyes now on Alex and Victor, waiting for any hint of their reactions to Lady Harrington's unexpected proposition. Following Lady Harrington's audacious proposition, the room was thick with an almost palpable tension. Alex, feeling as though the ground had shifted beneath him, rose abruptly from his chair, his face a portrait of disbelief. "This cannot be serious," he breathed, his voice edged with a mix of shock and rebellion. Victor's dark eyes, usually so inscrutable, widened ever so slightly, betraying his surprise. The Belmont heir had attended many clandestine gatherings, but this one was rapidly proving to be the most unexpected. Lord Harrington, sensing the mounting unrest, chose to intervene. His voice, firm and authoritative, left no room for dispute. "This is not merely a proposal, Alex. It is an official offer. You will do as instructed. The decision now lies with the Belmont family." The finality of his statement hung in the air, a clear indication that the matter, as far as he was concerned, was settled. Nicholas, attempting to bridge the widening chasm, spoke up, "Alex, we must think of the family's standing. This is about more than just personal desires or feelings. But Alex, feeling his autonomy slipping away, countered sharply, "So, my life is to be decided upon like some business deal?" Lady Harrington, although momentarily disconcerted by the raw emotion displayed by her younger son, maintained her composure. "We have always made choices for the greater good of our family," she said, her voice soft yet unwavering. "This is no different." The ballroom, which had witnessed countless declarations and deals, was now the stage for a familial confrontation, the outcome of which would reshape the very fabric of their society. The Belmonts, though accustomed to the unpredictable nature of high society, were unprepared for the torrent of emotions that this proposal had unleashed. Amidst the rising voices and clashing opinions, Victor's mother, Lady Isabel Belmont, chose to intervene. A woman of grace and intelligence, her presence often acted as a calming influence in turbulent situations. "The idea is indeed intriguing," she began, her voice carrying a note of genuine curiosity. "However, for such an alliance to be successful, we must all be in harmony with the decision." She paused, casting a measured glance around the room, allowing her words to sink in. Looking directly at Alex, she continued, "We should reconvene in a month's time. It would be enlightening to see the attitude of our cute bride-to-be by then." Her eyes twinkled with mischief as she let out a soft chuckle, gently teasing Alex, who, despite his distress, couldn't help but blush at her remark. Lady Harrington, appreciating Lady Isabel's diplomatic approach, nodded in agreement. "A month should provide ample time for reflection and understanding," she concurred. As the gathering began to disperse, the undercurrents of the evening's revelations were evident. The next month promised to be a whirlwind of introspection, negotiation, and perhaps unexpected alliances. Awakened by the soft murmurs of the maids, Alex found himself face to face with an older, stern-faced maid accompanied by a group of younger, strikingly beautiful attendants. The juxtaposition of their radiant youth against the gravity of the situation only added to his unease. "Your bath awaits, young master," the older maid intoned, presenting him with a razor and a delicate jar of shaving cream. "You are to shave all of it," she instructed, her gaze unwavering, emphasizing the extent of the task ahead. Feeling a rush of heat to his cheeks, Alex took the razor, the weight of its implication heavy in his hand. The giggles and whispered exchanges of the younger maids, though muted, did little to assuage his rising anxiety. With a nod, he retreated to the adjoining bathroom, grateful for the semblance of privacy it offered. Once inside, he caught a glimpse of himself in the ornate mirror. The reflection staring back was one of vulnerability and trepidation. The bath, filled with fragrant, bubbly water, seemed inviting, but the task ahead loomed large. Taking a deep breath, he stepped into the bath, allowing the warm water to envelop him. As he settled in, he took up the razor, its cold, gleaming surface a stark reminder of the task ahead. With each careful stroke, Alex felt as though he was peeling away layers of his past, the act of shaving becoming symbolic of the profound transformation being imposed upon him. The sensation of the blade on his skin, the transition from rough to smooth, was both unnerving and strangely liberating. Once the task was completed, Alex lingered in the tub, trying to reconcile with the new reality. The water, once comforting, now felt like a reminder of his altered state. Eventually, he emerged, his skin bare and sensitive, fully aware that beyond the bathroom door awaited those who had set him on this uncharted path. Emerging from the bath, Alex's fingers instinctively sought the reassuring fabric of his usual bathrobe, but what met his touch was the unfamiliar softness of a blush-pink robe, its delicate lace trims seeming out of place in his personal space. The calculated replacement of his robe, a deliberate act to further the narrative being crafted for him, was a tangible sign of the changes being thrust upon him. With a hesitant hand, he reached for the razor once again, the final act of shaving his beard looming ahead. Each stroke of the razor felt like a further erasure of his past, stripping away the rugged facade he had always known. As the last remnants of his beard were washed away, he felt a deep sense of loss, as though a part of him had been irreversibly altered. Donning the pink robe, he approached the ornate mirror with trepidation. The face that stared back was both familiar and foreign. Without the beard, his features appeared softer, more vulnerable, and framed by the pink hue of the robe, the transformation was undeniable. A maelstrom of emotions churned within, anger at his lack of agency, disbelief at the rapidity of the changes, and a profound sense of grief for the identity he felt slipping away. Steeling himself, Alex stepped out of the bathroom. The barely concealed giggles of the younger maids felt like daggers, each laugh deepening his sense of disorientation. The older maid, her expression unreadable, remarked, "There she is. Your mother believes a new chapter demands a fresh identity. You shall be known as Lana from now on." The weight of that name, in combination with his smooth face and the pink robe, felt like chains, binding him to a destiny he was still struggling to accept. The pronouncement from the older maid lingered, her words casting a shadow that seemed to darken the room even after she departed. Further transformation, she had declared, her voice bearing the finality of a judge's gavel. Lana, still adjusting to the name and everything it signified, felt a chill at the prospect. A team of stylists, beauticians, and makeup artists, the mere thought was daunting. She had always valued her straightforward, no-frills demeanor, and the idea of being meticulously crafted into someone else's vision of beauty was unnerving. She felt like a blank canvas, vulnerable and exposed, waiting to be painted upon by unfamiliar hands. Collapsing into an ornate chair, the plush softness of the pink robe provided little comfort against the storm of emotions brewing within. Anger, sharp and hot, coursed through her veins. How had it come to this? How had she, with her dreams and aspirations, become a mere piece in a game she hadn't chosen to play? But as the minutes dragged on, that fiery anger began to wane, replaced by a bleak sense of helplessness. The walls, with their intricate patterns and gleaming gold leaf, seemed to inch closer, embodying the constraints tightening around her. The truth was inescapable, she was ensnared in a web of societal obligations and familial duties. Thoughts of defiance flitted through her mind, but the weight of expectations pressed down, suffocating such fleeting notions of rebellion. She felt adrift in a tempest, with no control over her destiny, forced to weather the storm of transformation that awaited. The door opened once again, admitting a flurry of activity. A team of women, each an expert in her field, entered the room, their arms laden with cases, bags, and racks of clothing. The atmosphere became charged with a mix of excitement and purpose. They spread out, setting up their individual stations, their movements fluid and practiced. Lana, seated in the center, felt like the eye of a storm. The women began their work, draping her in an array of garments, each more opulent than the last. They assessed how different colors and fabrics complemented her complexion, how various cuts and designs flattered or altered her silhouette. Wigs of various lengths and shades were tried on, each changing her appearance subtly. Amidst the whirlwind of changes, one instruction was clear: she was to let her natural hair grow from this day forward. That's all for now, see you in the next video. Please subscribe to our channel and join me at Patreon for more exclusive content.